This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, and welcome to the final video in our advanced usage series training videos for Duct. What we're going to be doing today is going to be what we call a rudimentary design. In other words, we are going to go from beginning all the way through to the end where we have generated a proposal ready to send out. This gives you an overview without the stopping and moving to the next video kind of idea. A lot of times that overview will give you a better idea of how things go. So without further ado, we're going to hop right in. I'm going to open up my project list. We are going to open up this project that we've been working in, and we're going to create a new layout here. And we are going to make this layout, we will call it the welding lab. And this is going to be a 50 by 40 foot about. I'm going to click OK. So now we have our grid. I'm going to go ahead and select my material or product line as US Duct. And I'm going to make sure in my design list that we have the correct addings. We're going to add cable hangers and material gauge. Rolled lip is what we want. Okay, so we are looking good there. So I'm going to start drawing with probably 6-inch and we'll see. The next step is we're going to control what it is that we're putting together as far as our presentation. So I'm going to turn section numbers off for a little bit. I'm also going to switch over to low render details so that things will go a little faster. This will be larger than most. And now we're going to go ahead and import our floor. So we're going to open that up, open file to browse and find. And in fact, here's my welding lab floor plan. In a previous video, you guys saw this. So as you can see, 100% works. So we'll click OK there. And now we're going to scoot over and find that dimension line. There we go. And as you recall, the scale of 1/4 inches a foot is the same here and in the lab where we're going to be working. So I can scale off of this dimension line right here. And that is 11 foot 6 inches, it says. So there we have scale, and now I'll drag these corners down to crop our image and drag this over here, and we'll continue there, and there we have our floor plan. All right. So I'll just start over here at our closest area. Now I'm going to set a starting point, and I'm going to start right there in the middle of that connection, which we are going to have at 7 feet, right there. Okay, so that's the connection, and we're now going to draw, and we're going to go up 24 inches, and then we're going to do a 90-degree turn. But that turn, I'm using 2 clicks there to get my protractor, will be 45 degrees. So if we now look there, I can bring to the middle of that elbow, and we can now bring this all the way down to the middle of that elbow. All right, so now we're going to need to go ahead and draw our branches. 45 degrees, come to there, and we'll proceed with that. And I'm going to actually show you a peek into the future, I'm going to clone that piece right there and let that stick. All right. Now, I'm not going to worry about this right away because we are going to be changing size later, but I am going to go ahead and clone that piece and let it attach there and continue cloning. You'll be learning about cloning in a later video. I'll clone there. And we're almost done. Okay. So we now have that run, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to size this. It's actually, since it's welding fumes, we can slow things down quite a bit. I'm going to go at 3,000. We haven't put machines in, so we'll use the automatic setting there. Go ahead and hit calculate. And you can see this one run, good fan pressure, about 4,100 CFM total. And you can see that we ended up with a 16-inch, not an 18-inch as they had. But what we are going to do is we are going to fix starting here. And I am going to notice that 21 inches is how it's drawn, and it needs to be 31 inches. So I'm going to fix that downstream and watch what happens. Notice that that also fixed all of these because they got a little bit longer. Okay? So now we're going to draw this, turn it up, and my notes say that we're going to take this up to about a total of 10 feet to get through the roof. And notice because we have an elbow, we're going to need to extend that out. So I'm going to let Duct quote fix that again downstream. All right. So here is a wonderful situation. Notice we've got a whole nother side here to put in place. I could copy this and bring it over, or we can just do the same thing again. All right. So this time, let's do a slightly different starting spot, just so that you get an idea of how you might do it differently. I'm going to start in the middle of that elbow, and I'm going to go up to the 7 feet again. There we are. And we're going to draw again. We'll draw with 6 inch. I'm going to draw along that line all the way down to the edge of that elbow. Okay. And let's go ahead and bring this across to where it turns up. All right. Now what we need to do is we're going to draw at 45 degrees. And I'm watching to hit right there. And again, we're going to draw down 24 inches. And this is off by literally a 1/4 inch. So we're just going to make that 21 inches long. And we're going to shift that upstream. Okay. And just like we have just finished doing, we are going to draw these 45, come out to the same spot again, do our cloning, connect, we go. Same thing on this side. And notice here that I just had a little piece get out of place. So we clone again. And I keep jostling and getting just out of place there. All right. So we have one last spot. Okay. You'll also notice that we've got some additional spots here to pick up. So let's do those. And we will come off there, 45 degrees, again to middle of that elbow. Okay. And lastly, we can make this a double branch. Come out. And go there. And we can attach this last piece here. And now again, it is time to size things as we're looking at this side. So we go to the calculation, run that again. And we have two systems because we haven't connected them yet, both with good fan pressure. Second system has a little bit more CFM. And so we can come right along here and do exactly what we did before. We're going to fix this again downstream, which fixed all of these as well. And now we can again turn this up to reach the roof. I'm going to use the snap line that you see there to hit the right size. And since we see that two different units are being used there, that is actually ready to go. So we can process this. And you can see here our bill of materials. And we can take this bill of materials straight through and go to our proposal. And so here we have our proposal writer. I don't think we need the calculations, but let's go ahead and we don't need to show the weight or the freight estimate, but let's give them, say, a 5% discount. This is a good customer, okay? And so just for fun, we're not going to show the line pricing. We will show the total pricing, okay? So we'll add our 3D drawing, position it in a way that makes sense. We can actually look right down both sides, blow that up a tiny bit. Okay, add that and generate our PDF. We'll just show it here, and there it is. Our proposal ready to send out to a client with our 3D image. And that took very little time at all. And so you have just seen a start to finish, and the imported drawing plan does show up in our 3D image. If you don't want that, you can actually remove that by clicking drop down and remove the drawing. But our next segment is going to be moving to a new group that we call additional tips. And as I promised in this, we're going to talk about cloning. And that's what we'll focus on in the next video. So I will see you guys there.